What's up, y'all? It's Bricks from Bricks Fitness, and yes, I'm a up. Y'all are my brothers. And I love y'all to death, and I don't say that as a cliche, like you guys allow me to live my purpose. So let me be transparent in telling you guys that trust me when I told you, you'll be hard pressed to find someone who probably has fucked up more in life than I have. I've been selfish, I've cheated, I've stolen, I've broken the law, I bought rims when I could have paid rent. I've made decisions with my own best interests at heart instead of the best interests of my family. I've messed up my credit. I've messed up my health. I've messed up relationships. I've messed up friendships. I've made every mistake in the book. But that does not define who I am. I didn't allow it to change my story because that was the old me. And at one point in my life, I woke up and I decided that I wanted to change. And from that moment forward, it didn't erase everything that I did in the past. But from that day forward, I lived with a different culture about me. I lived with a different attitude. I lived with a different intention. And did I stop messing up after that day? Absolutely not. But it was one of my biggest missions to correct my character issues, to live with integrity, to be completely honest. Now, that was the first step for me, you know. I couldn't fix all my flaws. I was flawed. I was fat. I was flawed. I was selfish. I had self-esteem issues. So the first thing I did was stop hiding. I stopped lying. So the only thing I could do was be completely honest with everyone in my life about my flaws. And mainly I'm talking about the women I was dating. So I would be 100% honest. No, I'm not going to be faithful to you. I told him, listen, I'm flawed. I have things that I'm working on about myself. And at that point in my life, that was the best that I can do. I had to be patient with myself. I had to continue on my journey of self-improvement. Was it going to happen overnight? Absolutely not. I had very bad habits. I had very negative mindset. I was very lazy. But what I did, I decided that I was going to change these things about me because my habits, my tendencies, they created the life that I had at that time, that had me in debt, that had me in trouble with the law, that had me in toxic relationships. And the reason why I was always in toxic relationships was because I was in a toxic relationship with myself. I never took responsibility for anything. I had no aspirations to being excellent in anything. I kind of was just existing. I would do things to try to impress other people instead of taking care of my responsibilities. You know, it was all because I had voids in my life. And yes, we all have a story. You know, I have, you know, family issues, this, that, and the third. I grew up in the hood, you know, grew up around killers and drug dealers and all. Yes. But that's not an excuse. And the culture that I grew up with and the mindset that I grew up with, I didn't have to allow it to dictate what my life looked like forever. Like, I feel like the hood brainwashes us. And yes, I was brainwashed by the hood. I felt like I needed to have the latest pair of Jordans. I felt like I needed to have a Cuban link chain and a diamond pinky ring. I had to have 22s on my car. And I did. I wasted a lot of money. I felt like every time I went in the club, I had to pop bottles. I had to spend $1,200 every time I went in the club. I did all this stupidness. Do I regret any of it? No. But the point of this video right now is I want us to get back to pursuing excellence. I feel like it's so rare nowadays that I see people pursuing excellence. I want to start a movement, the excellence movement. And if you're a f up like I was, I want you to understand. Listen, I was 360 pounds. I was in the streets. I was selfish. I didn't take care of my responsibilities as I should have. I didn't have any self-confidence. My self-esteem was shot. I was always blaming the fact that my dad wasn't around or the fact that my mom wasn't supportive on all my downfalls. I literally had every excuse in the book. But one day I woke up and I decided that I was going to pursue excellence. I formed a vision for my life. I formed a vision for my body. And I went, call me naive, but I believe every single person watching this video right now has what it takes in them to create a life of excellence. To create a life of excellence. Now, this may sound corny. I get it. I don't care. I may believe in people a lot more than they believe in themselves. And that's okay, because at some point somebody believed in me more than I believed in myself. So I hope this at least plants a seed in you, the person watching this right now. I believe in you. I believe that you have something amazing inside of you that you just can't see yet. And I'm so passionate about that because I was that person. I didn't see the greatness that I had inside of me. I had no idea of the power that I had over my life, that I can change what my life looked like by simply making a decision. And once I realized that power, it changed the game for me. And I want every single person to realize that they have that power. Is it gonna be easy? No. But you have to become obsessed. Like first step is the realization that you have power, that you have the mental, that all of this is mental. Every aspect of life is mental. Whatever your life looks like is a compilation of your habits. And your habits, all of that is mental, right? So I want you to understand that one day you can wake up and decide to create a vision for your life. It doesn't matter how far that vision may be from what your life looks like right now. It is possible. We live in an age where, as cliche as it sounds, anything is possible. You just have to believe it. You have to be willing to put the effort in, and you have to have the faith that you can make it happen. And trust me, I know how corny this sounds, but coming from a person who escaped very dark places, there's no better feeling than to dig yourself out of that hole, to release yourself from a mental prison. You know, just change your story. Don't let all the effing up you've done in the past affect you going forward. That doesn't have to be your story. It was my story for a long time, which is why I always made excuses, which is why I always kind of confined myself to a box. You know, as far as like, I limited what I thought I was able to achieve. And once I freed myself of that, it changed my life. And, you know, I just want that for everybody. I want that for you. I think it's possible. It starts with identifying what your issues are. What are your flaws? Being honest with yourself first, because nothing else, this doesn't work if you're not honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself first. Identify what your flaws are. Stop beating yourself up about them. And no matter how daunting the task may seem, just know that if you're consistent and you put the effort in and you're doing the right work, you will be able to create whatever vision it is that you have for your life or your body. It's possible. And trust me, listen, if my lazy, fat, insecure ass can do it, so can you. I promise you that. I promise you. As always, guys, I'm just trying to share the wellness. So get well and get money.